gas and for cold mix purposes, we can use cold mix as a carry-all. And we do utilize it for cold mix. We just cannot, we cannot, it just never worked for us for the hot mix. I don't know if it's the company told us that it's a burner in it. It needs a diesel or propane burner, and we have an electric burner, which it doesn't do anything for us. We cannot heat up the mix enough to utilize it for pothole or road patching.
And Hector, what would be the initial cost for us to, get that, whatever it is that we need to equip it with the proper equipment so we can utilize it 100%?
It didn't make my list, but it's actually on the budget list. It's $76,000. I took it out of the list just because maybe we should try to work on the one we got already. I'm not sure what direction we should go with, because either way we're looking at a lot of money. To replace that heater, it's about $30,000. To get a new hot box where it's just a hot box itself, all it does is heat up the stuff. That's $76,000. So either way,
Will this do?
So let me ask you this: would the 30,000 be sufficient enough for us to go ahead and get done what we need to get done to operate that 100%?
that's the problem. When we reached out to Burke Camp, it was just a guess. They called it a guesstimation. They don't know exactly until they actually get down here, but they can't schedule us for another year or so.
Because
I guess they're backed up. I don't know, back order. I don't know what to call it, but well, now it's about 8 months. But we've been having trouble. And since I don't know, do we have warranty on it? I don't even know whether we have warranty or not.
The warranty, normally, I'd have to verify this, but I think it's a 3-year warranty. I think they've been having problems with this it's been some time now. It's my understanding. I don't know.
we got 2018 when we bought it.
Something like that. Yeah,
And we've had it for 5 years.
something like that. I'm not sure. It was before my tenure here, but I know that it doesn't work. But it does do everything else. I mean, it's a carry-all. I mean, we can do cold mix all day long, but I know y'all want to see hot mix.
Yeah, because hot mix would actually do a better bod, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. I mean, it depends who you ask. If you ask the people that provide us the material, they say go cold mix, even on overlays. But hot mix historically has outlasted cold mix, by 1 or 2 years.
So what is the difference? So this heats up the oil. I mean, explain kind of the difference between what that does versus what this does.
It heats up the adhesive
Okay.
to the rock, and what you get a soppy, very soppy mixture, and it dries super quick. So once you lay it, the screeders on the bottom of the paver are heated just to keep it hot, just enough, because once it hits air, it starts to solidify all the way through. And on cold mix, you don't have to. I mean, you ain't gotta wait. You got like maybe 16 days to work with cold mix. That you have to. It does the same. It does the same, except it's a grittier ride, a more easier ride than the hot mix would. The hot mix, the tar, the adhesive that it's mixed in with, kind of gives it an even smooth, a real smooth surface. And then the cold mix, it's the same surface. It's a little lighter in color, and it's just a tad bit rough, noisier.
So is this for rebuilds or repair? This is for repair.
This is for repair.
Okay.
The jack kettle is something different. That's tar. That's basically a sealer. It just seals whatever crack you have open to the elements.
To prevent water from going underneath and washing it out, right?
Correct. That's correct. And the hot box is for your major repairs. I mean, you can use it for potholes as small as the size of a pothole, or you can use it for a complete repair from end curb to curb. So stuff like
And
that.
it looks like, is it self-propelled or is it pulled?
This is the bumper pool.
Uh-huh.
They're all, the majority of bumper pools.
And it fueled by diesel or?
Not sure on this one. I would assume diesel. The one we have, I believe, is gasoline. It's just a burner. I mean, wait a minute, no. Oh, so the pump is fueled by gasoline. The burner itself is propane. The one we have now, but it doesn't. I'm telling you, it doesn't even work.
Right, the one on the
Yeah,
big
we
one.
put money into it, get it to work, and right when we need it, just somehow.
So any guarantees, any warranties come with this?
Everything has warranty, everything, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, everything is through the buy board here.
We purchased through a co-op, it depends, it sometimes comes with a one or sometimes three. Depending, you can buy additional warranty, through the, whoever we purchase it from, I don't know who this company would be, but, nevertheless, yes, we can get some warranty on it.
And there's financing available too.
And
Same plan.
I just, the big machine, it was almost like there was trouble from the beginning.
From the very, from
And
the
so
very
can you
beginning.
do some research and see if these
We
are,
have, actually.
these are good machines?
Oh, yes, this is probably the top of the line here. This is, you can't get any, I mean, there's not too many options. I mean, there's the stuff they use up north that are way better than anything we have down here, but because of the weather that they have over there, so.
Right, so for council, is that included in your budget or not? Is this in it?
This,
No,
you don't know
that
which
is
one.
all, that is all part of the financing.
Mayor, this machine is only for seal coat, right?
It's for, repairs, it's for, it's, I won't call it a seal coat, it's for your primer.
Your primer?
Your primer that goes on your paving, your overlay. It goes underneath it, so it adheres to that thing. And it also, it can also be a sealer where you can seal the road before you put your primer on. Okay? Before you put your primer or your sealant or your adhesive, however you wanna call them. This is something we have to have. I mean, we're having to pay, we're having to pay somebody to come do it, and the minimum it's over $1,000 every time, just for him to say, yes, I'll be there. Then we're on his, I mean, whenever he has time and stuff like that, you know, whatever, something came up, you know, but still the bottom line is the money, so it all comes down to money.
How much do we spend paying him a year?
Recently with the street improvements, about 4,000 or 5,000 maybe altogether.
For nothing.
Yeah. So it's something we could do for next to nothing, like literally. I know that the cost is high. That's what it is. I mean, and we can settle for something less, but this is actually a multi-purpose. That's why it's so high.
Council, and after the street, if y'all wanna take a break, whatever, if y'all want to keep going, y'all listen.
Sure. Next page, are we done here talking about this?
Yeah.
Okay, the next page is the other small trinket that we need when we do a street repair, whether it's a road patch or this is something this is dire. We absolutely been without for at least 12 years on this one here. As far back as I can remember, we ain't had one. So this is something that it's not really hard to get, but for the size, it's super expensive. Like if we were to rent this, it'd be like $1,500 a week to rent. Whether we use it on, for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And all this does is you as you're paving, you go over it. As you're road patching, you just go over it back and forth. And that's basically what
And
it
that's
does.
the cost of it,
That's it.
17?
What's that?
Is that the cost, 17?
Yes, on the bottom, yes. And that's through the buy board, I want to say. I think all these are through buy boards. Co-op.
Purchasing cooperative.
Yeah, purchasing cooperative, so.
Next one, Kristen.
Next one. This is another thing we don't have anymore. Ours unfortunately went completely out last year. And we're just struggling along. We put in about $4,000 or $5,000 a year to fix it, and it would break down every year. Usually about this time, about the 100-degree weather days, did a number. Finally, it just blew a hole right through the motor, so we don't have anything, nothing. I mean, we have a little Ford truck that we use as a dump truck, but what this does in one load, we do about 7 or 8 on that little truck. And this is the smaller of the dump
How
trucks.
long has it been that y'all had a dump truck?
It's been a couple of years. I mean, we had an actual dump truck, but that one, it was problematic. Half the year, the mechanic would have it in the shop, and the transmission went out, the motor, we changed out the motor, the transmission.
Because I remember in the past, they had several of them.
We did have several. The 1994, which is our bread and butter there for many, many years. I think that one went out. That's the one that went out last year. That's the one we replaced the transmission, the axle, the whole kit and caboodle, except for the motor. And on its first run, the minute we loaded it up with weight on the back, it died right there on the spot right in front of James's house on Roosevelt. Yes, and so that was the latest. The one before that, the street department, that's been gone for several years. So. And that's pretty much it for the streets.
So Hector, that's a total of about 190,000 on your wish
Pretty
list.
much.
So you guys make a note that the streets need
So 190.
190,000.
110.
And I would just, say that I would hope that with these things, if and when we do get them, that you do a little bit of homework and look into them. I don't know if there's like any kind of reviews as far as these kind of things, but look into like, warranties, because I would hate to spend this kind of money on this stuff and then them to not work.
Yeah, we done our research. These are the best brands you can get for what we need them for. I mean, like, there's Tiger equipment that you can get from up north and have them shipped over here for $10,000 and have that at a price. And those are truly the best. I mean, they'll be the best because they're designed to last in cold weather. That's what you want. But you're talking 10 times, or not 10 times, you're talking 5 times the amount of money that we're asking. This here, for down here, for what we need it for, this is the best brand we can find. And for the price, best bang for the buck right here, definitely. And on the Heimel truck, the dump truck, that, for that price, that's definitely, we look for a Freightliner or a Mack truck, and we're talking at least $30,000-$40,000 more. So these are the best, and these are hard to come by, the dump trucks. So if it's a yes, we'd like to sit there and place one on hold, because it'll take about 3 months before you can actually get it. So it's just.
Council, any other questions?
And when will we know, I mean, when do we decide on these things?
Council, what we'll do is we'll probably put an item on the agenda, assuming this gets approved, the budget gets approved. We'll probably have an item on the agenda probably sometime the fall. And we'll go out and I'll give a list of all the equipment, which includes police vehicles, and we'll get a finance plan. We have estimates. Do you remember the estimate they gave us for the finance for all the equipment? You have that? Remember that?
No, I didn't bring it this time.
Uh-oh. Well, we have that
I
estimate.
have it in,
For all the equipment.
for all equipment.
We've already had the estimate. I can't recall off the top of my head. I
I
want to
think
say.
it's like 526.
No, but I'm talking for 7 years. Remember we
Oh,
talked?
yeah, I think it was like 76.
Yeah, so we finance it we're looking for 7-year note for financing. I think it's 70-something thousand.
76 or 80,000.
So what we've been doing, council, we're trying to do as best we can is we're paying debt off, paying some vehicles off or whatever. We'll normally bring something back on. This is the first time that we've talked about police vehicles before on financing and some other trucks. I think we paid for the trucks that we had for the public works. But as they're coming off, we'll put some other ones back on. I would love to have just cash to pay for cash. But in saying that, that's the way we're handling it is trying to buy equipment that's needed. And again, we also have a fleet policy in our schedule of replacement. And again, part of what you'll hear and part of what we try to manage as best we can is there's always a need, right? Or in quantifying the needs and the wants is we, as best we can, saying, hey, well, this is what you may want, but this is what we can give you, this is what you really need. In Hector's case, with some of this equipment, I mean, some of the stuff they haven't had in quite a while, and it is, it's time. We're gonna do some of this work, and we really are gonna invest in doing some street work. And it's time to make a little investment, because what we're having is, you're having deterioration of roads, and there's no maintenance. There hasn't been maintenance, and I'll be the first to attest to that. There's been very little maintenance, so it's kind of one of those, we can maintain them and try to get them in better shape. We can't replace every single road. We recognize that, but it doesn't matter what it is, the dollar amount that you give us. It's just we're saying we just need to make some gradual steps to make things better and not make things worse. That's our goal. Not allow streets to get into, when you start seeing alligator cracks, and you start seeing things just cracking everywhere, it's just a matter of time before we start having problems. I mean, that's just the way it is, and what we're suggesting is having some of this equipment to be able to to not make it worse, to make it manageable.
The unique thing, council, about this too, and I like the way that Fred's considering this, is, you know, we've got roughly about a $2 million debt service, and it does pay off pretty quickly. And so in light of it, I don't know the figure, Fred's got it or whatever, but say we need 600,000 in new equipment this year. We're gonna lump all that, Rams, Chiefs, Hectors, subject to your approval, into one lump sum, go out and get it all bought, and then make it on payment. So instead of taking 700,000 out of our budget, as an example, in 1 year, we'll make a $70,000 payment. And Fred's kind of alluding he'll work us through that, so, because every year our payments due, that $2 million drops pretty substantially because we're paying it off quickly. So we'll be able to kind of supplement that with that, so we're at least at a status quo. But the good thing is, we're picking up some equipment we need. So I think, Fred, did I say that correctly?
Yeah, that's right.
We'll be adding all of this stuff, and if there's something you go, okay, that's too much, we need to pull one item out or two item out, we'll look at that, consider that, but that's the funding mechanism that we'll look at.
So going back to that machine that you say y'all use daily, if that gets maintained, I mean, like fixed and everything, y'all be okay?
The hot box,
Yeah,
yeah,
hot
that's one item that's on the list. It's not on my list,
Yeah.
but, not anymore. But, it's called a hot box, but yeah, that would, if we invest some money in it, and it's not a guarantee. Thing is, the Burkett, what they're saying is not a guarantee. That's the problem. $30,000 and there's no guarantee.
But then you're saying that it's gonna be a while before they even come.
Well, yeah, that's
So,
a
I
given.
mean, we're in a waiting.
We're in a pickle, yeah, it's definitely in a pickle, so,
And we need it like today, you know, for y'all to.
yeah, I mean, it would be great to have a working hot box, and then it'd be nice, and especially on that one, that one's a little different than a hot box, because that's a hot box and a carry-all. It carries all your tools and your sprayers and everything you need, and the hot box, so. And what was on the budget is a hot box, it's strictly a hot box, it's just, to heat up your material. But what we have is nice, it's just not operational, it's not functional, I mean, but we do use it for everything else. I mean, we can sit there and carry all our cold material, but it's a hot material truck, basically is what it is. You just can't do nothing with it.
Any other questions, Hector, anything else to add?
No, that's it, that's all I got.
Well, like our police chief, Hector, we're grateful for you and your department and all the stuff that you do for us to keep things going, and appreciate the magnitude of your job and the way that you carry, and so we're grateful to have you.
No problem.
Council, got anything else for Hector?
Thank you.
Okay, Fred, who's up next?
Mayor, I think we're gonna let Rand go next. I think he's probably one of the, I don't know the PIO, but I think Rand has a presentation or had a presentation. Yes. He had a good one.
Rand?
I don't think I think he was out for a few days, so I think he might have figured it out or.
Good evening, Council. Mayor, I apologize, I was out last week sick, and I'm trying to get back on my feet. This is not my best presentation. Believe me, I only had today to work on it, but hopefully get the meeting crossed over. To some of the council people that aren't familiar with my department, let me just read out the you want to flip it to, there you go. The Parks and Recreation Department improves the quality of life for the citizens of Pearsall while maintaining a total of 43 acres. Like the mayor, like the chief said, remember that number? Remember 43. Which includes our 4 city parks, city hall, city annex, police department, public library, civic center, jogging trail, and all the city landscape. Included in the inventory is the Victor Trevino Sports Complex that is well respected around the state for its quality. The Parks Department also provides landscape management services to many city properties that other than our city parks. I gave you a list of what the crew that I have right now. Awesome guys. Those are best guys that I've had in many years. Hard workers, very hard workers. Next page. I also maintain the facility department. They work daily to provide facilities that are safe, comfortable, efficient. We dedicate ourselves to provide professional services that repair, maintain, and modernize the city facilities for the citizens of Pearsall, Texas. City facilities include City Hall, Annex, Public Library, Police Department, Service Center, and Sports Complex. Right now, like I said, I'm the superintendent. Once in a while, I'll go out there and help Roger clean restrooms and do what I gotta do because we're vacant as far as the custodian. I should be filled in by the 24th.